Alright, take one, pirate radio broadcast. Alright, this is HT Boom. Hey, I'm Slandon Gomez. Welcome to pirate radio broadcast. We want to talk about Israel and Palestine. We have a problem with people who are pro-Palestinian, and they have a problem with people who are pro-Israel. You see, we were stealth during the Gulf War. We went deep into the system and disappeared. From January 2nd to September 12, 1991, our tour duty. And I was confronted by 9 enemy combatants who accused me of being a spy and U.S. military. And they forced me into hand-to-hand combat. And there were witnesses who were cheering on the enemy combatants because they all didn't like me. They thought I was not one of them, that I was, a spy, and one of them was, very pro-Palestinian. But anyway, I engaged in hand-to-hand combat and defeated 9 enemy combatants. And everyone was very disappointed because they were cheering on the enemy combatants. So, my belief in the existence of the God of Moses and the Messiah and the existence of guardian angels is not worshiping some sky god. And I'm referring to the Jimmy Dore show where people who are atheists and agnostics talked about people like me who believe in a sky god. A sky god talks to us. There are over 1 billion Muslims and a lot of people who are pro-Palestinian. You outnumber Israel, but you all are talk to talk. You just talk to talk and you don't walk the walk. You don't have the power to defeat Israel. You outnumber Israel, 1 billion to a few, and yet you don't have the power. You ever wondered why? You can say, oh, it's the United States will come to the rescue. Dude, there's over 1 billion Muslims. But all you can do is talk the talk. You can't walk the walk. During the Gulf War, I walked the walk. I didn't talk the talk. When these enemy combatants want to fight me, to completely beat the living crap out of me, I defeated them. They outnumbered me. Just like Israel is outnumbered by 1 billion Muslims and a whole bunch of pro-Palestinian Jimmy Dores. You all talk the talk. I walk the walk. But the point is, this God of Moses and the Messiah Christ and guardian angels are real. And that's why 1 billion Muslims and a whole bunch of Jimmy Dores don't have the power to take Israel down, even though you all outnumber Israel. You all just talk. There's one thing that the Jimmy Dores and all the pro-Palestinians don't get, and that is, during the Gulf War, and I know I was deep cover, I was there, the Palestinians and Saddam Hussein of Iraq united as a coalition, and they invaded Kuwait and committed crimes, horrific crimes. Saddam Hussein was later removed and executed. They got their revenge on Saddam Hussein. Many of you don't like Donald Trump, and you blame him for the attack on Capitol Hill. Would you pardon Donald Trump? Would you give him the opportunity to run for president in 2024? Many of you would say no. The way you feel towards Trump and the Trumpers who attacked Capitol Hill is the way a lot of people feel about the Palestinians in the Middle East. You can remove Israel. You can get rid of Israel right now. But the fact that Saddam was punished and executed, and the Palestinians are under punishment, many of them are dead. The Kuwaitis have not forgiven the Palestinians. Iran hated Saddam Hussein, and they hate the Palestinians for siding with Saddam. Palestinians are under a punishment. Do you really think that those who are punishing the Palestinians want a two-state solution? Do you want Trump pardoned and given the opportunity to be president again? If you say hell no, then you understand the reason behind the punishment. The reason why Saddam Hussein was captured and executed. Well, he's gone, but the Palestinians are still there. If you think that people in the Middle East want to give the Palestinians a two-state solution, well, you're wrong. Just like many of you do not support Trumpers and you don't support pardoning Donald Trump. Now you know how many people feel about the Palestinians in the Middle East. Like I said, you get rid of Israel and things will not change for the Palestinians. The Kuwaitis still hate them. Saudi Arabia, they play both sides because they know every time the Democrats take the White House, they go in there and create a two-state peace talks. Palestinians get killed, and then the Democrats throw up their hands and say, we failed, and they go back home. But Palestinians get killed. You ever wondered why the Democrats keep trying over and over and over again? Because it's ethnic cleansing. The Democrats want to kill Palestinians without advocating. And they know every time they stir up the hornet's nest, those who hate the Palestinians in the Middle East, Kuwaitis and the Iranians have their militias in Palestinian territory. The punishment of Palestinians is just as real as the punishment on Saddam Hussein when he was captured and executed. It's the same reason, the same anger, the same hatred against Saddam that they have upon the Palestinians. That's why there are 1 billion Muslims and you don't walk the walk. You talk the talk. But the Palestinians are under punishment. And the day you pardon the Palestinians is the day you pardon Donald Trump and put him back in the White House. If you can't, because you can't forgive Trump, then now you know why many do not forgive the Palestinians. Even if there was no Israel, they will not support. The Iranians do not have militias killing Palestinians because they want a Palestinian two-state solution. People like Jimmy Dore talk, and they're just agitators. That's all Jimmy Dore is. He's an agitator. He doesn't organize a billion Muslims to invade Israel. Just as those who were cheering on 9 enemy combatants, and I defeated those enemy combatants. In the 6-Day War, Israel defeated their enemies that outgunned them. Jimmy Dore doesn't talk about that. He just says sky gods, or those who he quotes. Normally I don't diss on Jimmy Dore, but when it comes to the Palestinians, I diss on him. He doesn't know. He wasn't in the Gulf War. He wasn't fighting in the Gulf War versus Palestinians and Saddam Hussein. He wasn't in Kuwait when the Palestinians and Saddam's people invaded. Jimmy Dore is just an agitator when it comes to the Palestinians. He doesn't know, he wasn't there, and he's not there in the Middle East. He just follows the trend. Many people follow the trend. But try going, if there was no Israel, I challenge Jimmy Dore to try to get a two-state solution, or the Palestinians. You will find a lot of hatred by non-Israelis against Palestinians. The same hatred against Saddam Hussein. Well, Saddam was captured and executed. And now the Palestinians are captured and punished. It's the same punishment. So, I'm just saying, as an eyewitness in the Gulf War of what's really going on in the Middle East, I am a witness to what's really happening. This has nothing to do with Israel. This has to do with the punishment of the Palestinians. And that's why there never will be a two-state Palestinian state. And the more you push for it, the more Palestinians get killed. The punishment is enforced. So this peace talks is all about ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. The punishment. I said what I said. This is Pirate Radio broadcast.